Well, have you looked at that new dream car or maybe the vacation home and you think, I'm never going to have that?
Well, it turns out with a little bit of planning, you can buy that. Brad Huffman is a certified financial planner and is here to show us how to make it all happen. Good morning.
Good morning.
So the dream car.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be a dream.
If you plan.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise it is a dream.
Okay.
Now, of course,
all
I
right,
question.
well, thank you for being here, Brad.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
That's it. But, you know, again, anything that you want, if you plan ahead for it, the secret is using time to your advantage.
Okay.
If you decide tomorrow I want that Porsche, it is not going to happen. Well, unless your last name is Gates or Rockefeller, maybe. But you know, for the rest of us, it is possible. But again, it's planning ahead. And the great thing is, there's so many great calculators out there. If you say, I want to have X in the future, you can figure it out.
Let's use the $79,000 car.
Yep.
So let's go out. I don't know, what is that? Is that a Porsche? Let's try that.
The lower end Porsche, not the great one. But yeah.
Get us there.
The poor man's Porsche. So basically, if you decide, this is a goal that I have, if you set aside $580 for the next 10 years, growing at a rather modest rate, you will have the cash you need, interest-free, to buy that Porsche.
So $580 a year.
Yep. Month.
A month.
Yes.
Okay, we've got a year up there.
Yeah,
so $580 a month.
Yeah.
What
if you want a picture of a Porsche, maybe you can do the $580 a year. But no, for the actual. So again, if that is a real goal for you, if that's something you absolutely want, 10 years is not a long time, really.
Right.
So if that's something you dream of, it is possible, but you have to be disciplined enough to do it.
And just keep working toward that. That could be a lot. I mean,
That's a lot of money. Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's try to get the kids in college instead.
A little more realistic.
Yeah.
Right.
College planning. Obviously, I just had a newborn, last month. So, for me, this is a reality. I opened a new college account. The fear is, am I ever going to have enough? Well, you can if you leverage the calendar to your advantage.
Okay.
So if we assume it costs about $82,000 for an average four-year university today, so a little over $20,000 a year, room and board. If you start at newborn, which I have, $330 a month for the next 18 years, college is paid for.
You're there.
You're there. So again, if you wait a little bit, that number's got to be a little bit bigger. Now, maybe you don't want to fund it 100%.
Right.
Maybe junior will get some great scholarships. So maybe you want to fund 2 years.
But let's back up just a little bit. You've got to come up with that $330 a month or the $580 a month. You've got to also discipline yourself to get that in the bank.
Yeah, you're not going to drive junior to college in the Porsche probably.
Right.
So you need to pick which one that's more important.
But what's the strategy in your current budget to be able to come up with the $330?
Well, the secret really is being disciplined. So if these are goals, which I hope college planning is, you're really going to have to cut somewhere else. So again, maybe you don't take 2-3 big vacations a year. You've got to find a way to scrimp, save, and again, plan ahead. That's the secret, having the time to prepare for it.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, let's talk about the vacation home, even though I'm totally depressed already.
Yeah.
$150,000 home.
Yeah, $150,000. Now, we're not going to pay a full lump to buy that, but let's assume you want 25 to 30% down at that time, plus you want a little bit extra for insurance. If you save $168 a month for the next 20 years, you're going to have a pretty good chunk of money that you can put down in that new house. Now, you're still going to need a mortgage, but you're going to be prepared at that point to be able to initiate that purchase. So again, not a big dollar amount. Again, if that's a dream of yours, that's a goal. It's attainable.
Start setting it aside and plan for that.
Yeah, and that's a very modest growth rate. If we get back to the type of economy we had in the 90s, it'd take you less time. I'm saying in a very modest growth rate. It's very doable.
Because part of what you're saying here is not just to put it in a checking account and leave it there. You're talking about investing this so that it grows.
We're talking about 6-7% rates of return. So not a huge amount of risk, but certainly more than what you would get sitting in the bank.
Okay, all right. Lots of calculators online.
Yes.
You're saying use a retirement calculator for these because it'll do the same kind of thing for you?
Biggie, the retirement planning. All of us are doing this. Now, unlike the Porsche and the college education, we can't really narrow down a number specifically because everybody is different. I'd say on average, what I see with many of my clients, between 60 to 80% of your pre-retirement income is going to be needed. So when you go to these calculators, how much do you need? Use that as a rough estimate. You plug it in, how old do you want to be, and growth rate, it'll spit out a number and literally tell you what you would need to save per month. I find that in many cases you should be saving anywhere between 15 to 20% of your income. No less than 10 is my goal, but ideally 15 to 20 because that's what's going to take to get you down the road. Absolutely. So if you can do that, if you can come out of the gate with 15, you're great. You can work your way up perfect. You can throw into college, maybe the Porsche here or there. Wonderful.
Wow.
But again, the discipline is the hard part. No one wants to commit, and that time value of money is not necessarily ingrained in our brains.
That is a toughie.
Brad, thanks very much.